break my heart and say you love me again. Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. Hey guys, y'all know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent, big ugly himself, Omari, feogrande on YouTube, Shoutouts on Twitch, what have you. You know how it is. Also known as Pete on this show. And I am here in person this week for the Whatever We Want podcast. And of course, I'm here in person with my co-host who has been with me this whole show so far and will keep going throughout life. The one, the only, Superjaz.
Oh, that's me. Wait, are you in person? You're not in person.
Ow!
That's right. As he said, don't that hurt your face? That's right. But no, yeah. As he said, everybody, we are actually in person, which is crazy. So don't get used to it. Anyway, no, I'm your boy Jazz, aka Superjaz, SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you, in the like. And as he said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that, where we talk about whatever we want. And we don't lead the conversation leads us. We let the chips fall where they may, and insert corny, unfunny joke here.
Every Wednesday.
Yeah. Are you trying to get me to say that? Because
I've been trying to get you to say that. I've been trying to get you to say that for like the past 5 episodes.
I just go down some random...
Every Wednesday.
I go down some random, like, long road of nothing.
the Charlie get eaten by the it clown.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Anyway, yes, we do this every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And yes, we got conversation started today. Like, I'm here in St. Louis for the first time in 5 years.
You know what's so funny? You were, real quick before you go, you were saying, so, do you have something to start the conversation before we go? I got a little something. That's what it was.
I'm like, yeah, I'll go with mine and then you can go with yours. Mine will be easy to get out of the way.
Mine is yours, because yours is mine.
I guess so. But yes, I'm here first time 5 years at the abode of good friend Bob the Tomato. Still haven't really cleared out whether or not he wants his name out there. But yeah, I'm good here. That also see this guy.
Good to see you, bro.
I haven't been in St. Louis in 5 years, but apparently I haven't seen you in person since even longer.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the last time I went to Orlando, we were talking about before we started recording. The last time I went to Orlando was 2013. Mm-hmm. And that was when I went to UCU and they had the CEO thing, which was the big fighting game tournament and all that stuff. But I was like, I had to have seen you since 8 goddamn years.
Yeah, 2014, 2015, 2016 would have been 5 years ago. So there's still 2014 or 2015 that I would have come up here for like holidays with the family.
That was before the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's why I haven't been up here since the past 5 years. It's because that changed within the past 5 years.
Right.
So, yeah, no, we've seen each other since then, but still, 6 or more years is ridiculous. But, yeah, I've been in town and stuff, been on the airplane, woke up at about 3 Eastern this morning to catch an early flight.
AM.
Got a couple comments on the T-shirt, which... at the airport by a TSA agent and a person in the line. But it's funny because I had a mask on when I was doing it. So, they just noticed, I guess, from the eyes. So, I didn't think my eyes are bugged out naturally. But, I'm here. Got a mask on my face. And they're just like, is that you on your shirt? Yes.
They probably asked because if you didn't have the mask on, they would have known. But they were like, no, this can't be.
Why would someone have their own face on a shirt if they're not a celebrity?
Why would a celebrity do it?
Because they're a celebrity and they're merchandising. It's about the brand. Okay, I actually showed the face to someone at work, and like just the picture, the fail face as we call it in the friend group.
Right.
And they were like, "Yep, that's a brand." They just saw the picture, like, "Yeah, this is the picture, the stereotypical picture I used for this." They're like, "Yep, that's a brand. That's the brand right there." Like, I think I know everything I need to know.
Do you think that if you made it a brand somehow and you started selling pictures of that face, people would buy the shirt?
Look at
What does that mean? Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was a look at it, hell no, or hell yeah.
My friends willingly held up signs of my face at the first AEW Fighter Fest.
Didn't people take notice to that shit?
I was on the hard cam with the biggest picture of my face of all. And in a couple of montages when AEW started, when they would because you know how wrestling storylines work, they take clips from things that happened early on, and Shawn Spears versus Cody Rhodes specifically, when he hits him over the head with the chair, it's giant ass. There's my face in the background. So I showed up in a lot of the early clips because they had to use story elements from Fighter Fest, so you just see that sign in the background. But there were other signs with my face, like smaller signs at that same show, that my friends willingly wanted to hold up because my roommate's like, "I'm gonna give you guys fail faces to hold up."
Fail faces.
And they're like, "Let's do this."
I've heard that phrase before, but it's so funny. What the hell?
So yes, I do think if I got popular enough in merchandising, this is definitely something that could be everywhere.
And you took that shit when you was like 17, right?
Or 18.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know the exact year, but Jeff, who I mentioned in the previous video, when you were like, all these random nicknames for people, and then you just got Jeff.
The main one I remember was like, you were like, bro. And
well, yeah, I was like Ice, Riot, and Jeff.
Yeah, I was like, the fuck? I remember that right.
Yeah, Jeff is the guy that did this. Huh. Jeff is the guy that...
I'll put it on the shirt?
Or not on the shirt, but cropped out this photo for some particular reason. I think the first time I saw him do it was... I moved back up to St. Louis in 2010 for a year. Yes.
Oh, I think
it really happened. We even got cast in a couple things.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
When I was moving back to Florida at the end of that year, Jeff posted in the Facebook group the moon from Zelda Majora's Mask.
I feel like
giant
I saw this, or at least you told me about it.
Comes down like angry face and destroys the town, but it had this face cropped over it, and it was just 3 more days.
What the fuck?
Because that's the whole thing with Majora's Mask.
Right. Until the world ends.
So yeah, it was just that face on the moon, 3 more days. I'm like, that's hilarious.
3 more days until you went to Orlando.
Until I had moved back. Like, that was his, like, countdown. Like, Omari will be here in 3 days. So it was like, that's a hilarious picture. And then I asked him for it, or he, like, cropped it out for me or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I got the face to use. Tried to use it, or it's actually my icon on Twitter. Like, my profile picture on Twitter is that.
Because why would
I think it is the same on my Twitch. Like I said, it's branded and it works. It's a very good face to use.
But what's so funny, like I said, you took that when you was like 18. The funny thing about that, though, you took that shit yesterday.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, like that is like a
cop
in the weird way, but you look like you took that shit yesterday.
Yeah, he took it from a picture that was already on my Facebook. And at that time, I had a lot of pictures from my prom, my senior prom in high school, the only prom I went to.
Were you making weird?
Because I didn't go to prom with a prom date or anything, but I wanted to go, so I went with a buddy of mine, and he had a camera, and he was taking pictures, and we decided to make it a little goal, because you know how I am about these things, and my weird social experiments. I'm like, I'm going to see how many people I can get a picture with tonight. Just randomly.
Whether you really knew them or not.
Correct. There was a lot of walking up to people being like, hey guys, how you doing? Do me a favor. Look right over there real quick. Thank you.
What? You did that for real?
Yes.
This is why I tell you, and the amount, and the fact that it was at least 40. The fact that I got that many, I had. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had two goals. Get as many pictures as possible, and they had these little catering size cuts of sandwiches. Eat as many of those as possible.
I feel like you talked about this. I'm not even. I feel like I heard this part.
I had so many. You probably heard about the pictures too.
I don't know.
But I had so many of those damn sandwiches just the whole night. But I'm pretty sure one of the pictures is like me and a girl that we both were like, let's just make a funny face for this. So she's like, no, let's actually take the picture. And so we did, but I'm not sure because it wouldn't tell me. He's like, he didn't remember which specific picture he took it from.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I took this at prom.
Wow. What?
Which is hilarious.
I'm pretty sure the silliest face that I've made for my whole entire life. That's everywhere.
The face of prom night.
Is like my prom. I don't know how you spend your prom, everybody. But my prom, I mean, there was definitely magic happening. No. So when you we took the pictures with the random people the way you did, how did they react when you were just like, look over there, click?
They laughed.
Oh, okay.
This is why I tell you things like the other day where I was like,
you do it enough people will
or I might have been more popular in high school than I thought I was.
Yeah, that's true.
At the time.
Like not true, but it's true that people, we can think that stuff was worse than it was type of deal.
Yeah, I think I was more liked in high school than I thought I was in high school.
That could be true.
Because I look back on things like that and how many people were willing to just like, oh, Omari, you card.
Yeah. Well, that's why I always said, like, in high school, like, I wasn't, like, popular, so to speak. But I say, like, I always considered myself, like, the cool nerd. Because, like, maybe you heard me say that. Because, like, I was, like, nerdy, so to speak, and not like the popular thing, but everybody knew me and liked me.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was walking down the hall one time, my dad came for whatever reason, and like as I'm walking down the hall, everybody's like, "What's up, Jazz? Hey, what's going on, Jazz? What's up, Jazz? What's up, Jazz?" And I was like, "Dang, this many people like are cool with me and like me like this." So yeah, I feel you on that one. And then like one of my old jobs I used to work at, and I really thought about this since I was thinking about this earlier today, looking back at something with it. It was my second cooking job. So I only worked at one place before cooking wise when I went to this place, as well as like I hadn't cooked before that and was like so new to cooking before my first one. So this was like okay, working somewhere else and you realize not everywhere like cooking like certain stuff is made the same, like how to make a salad for the most part, how to cook a steak medium. But not every place works the same. Mm-hmm. So when I went here and it was different, I was like, oh my God, it's different, right? But, I think that was like, I might have been 25 at the time. And it was just one of the things where I was like, there's a weird vibe in here. And everybody here is like odd. And the attitude in here is crazy and this and that. And I realized later, it was like, no, the attitude in there was cool. You were just a fucking young fish out of water motherfucker that didn't want to admit that, like, you admitted to an extent it was you, but you didn't want to fully admit the problem was you. It wasn't so bad. You weren't so bad. Fast forward to now, where I'm good. But yeah.
Yeah, what I do in a similar boat, we were talking about being fish out of waters, and people thinking different about you. Oh yeah, so I was saying this to a friend earlier today. I have a weird thing where clearly I'm an attention whore.
I mean, you've said this several times.
I'm wearing a shirt with my face.
You wear a shirt with fucking face
on it. And a hat with my YouTube tag on it. So clearly I'm an attention whore, but I have a weird thing to it where it needs to be on my terms. If that makes any sense.
You have said this on a few episodes.
Yeah, because it's like thrust upon me, and I was like, well, where would that have come from? Like that kind of mentality. It's not the same every time, but everything's based in something when it comes to psychology. Oh, a tree fell in the woods, and you heard the sound of a wolf cry to the blue corn.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Anyway,
I know what you're getting at, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yes, but I feel like the source was probably when I was a kid.
Okay.
And the brief period in my life where I was actually bullied led to a lot of perceived bullying going forward in life, or a lot of perceived, okay, everybody's talking about me right now and laughing in my direction. I didn't cause this. They're making fun.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't like it. As opposed to laughing with. It's more feeling like laughed at, and it's like, but like I said, it's not the same every time because there's times where it's clearly everything's affectionate, but it's still just that kind of awkward, like, okay, please.
Well, it's like
turn the camera to something.
It's like what you're saying. Like I don't fully know what you were getting at with the psychology thing.
Well, I'm saying like the trigger could be bullying, could be the trigger to the instinct of shyness.
Oh yeah, okay.
Could be trigger to the end of silence, or you know what I'm saying. The shyness could be triggered by the bullying, but I don't always feel like I'm bullied when I'm shy in those situations. But the shyness, the instinct to be shy, probably developed when I was bullied.
That's a weird paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, that's kind of like there's some correlation clearly with that as to like why you probably decided to be an actor. But you understand what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, because everybody says you don't get that level of affection, so to speak, that you wanted at some time, whether from your family or not family, but like peers or whatever. So you seek it out in certain ways, and that's why you have people who are like ridiculously stupid famous, but they call themselves introverts, which is such an oxymoron, but actually does make sense.
Yeah, people that do a lot of acting and a lot of things in the arts, go to parties and socialize with a lot of people, and then still turn around and tell everybody on the show that they've filmed week in and week out that they're introverts.
I feel like you're talking about yourself. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, I consider I don't consider myself. The funny thing is, I've even said this to people, and so many people when I say this, they look at me like you are fucking crazy. I don't consider myself as I'm not like an introvert. I know that, like to the fullest extent, but I consider myself as extroverted as most people do. Like, but most people would be like, no, if you look up extrovert in the dictionary, it's gonna be a picture of Jazz right there.
I mean,
with onesie.
Same. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things where when people tell me stuff, I'm like, no, that can't be the case. And then I look at it from the outside. I'm like, but I can see where you would come to that conclusion.
Right. Like, if everybody's like, well, you make friends easy. And like me, you make friends easy. You should have a whole lot of women. You should, you know, you talking to people.
Yeah, bears watching.
You want to explain what that means?
Sure, I will.
Don't bring it up and be like, well, go ahead. We got time.
I'll explain what that means. I was going to tell you about exactly what that is.
Well, you know I know. You're going to tell me what
you
that
just
is.
said, well, you're going to tell people, you're going to tell others and saying, well, I'll tell you. The folks
and don't just say what it is.
Omari kids.
My bad. I'll cut you off. But don't just say what it is, but tell everybody what you thought it was.
I will.
I know you are. I just had to say it.
Anyway, no.
You trying to get another shirt made?
No. That'd be hilarious. But no, so when we were kids, our parents would always, talk about us when we were kids, look at them, they're having fun, they're all charismatic, everybody loves them. But I remember hearing, like, what they would talk, they always, as Jazz said with his whole, you make friends easily, I'm sure the ladies love you, and blah, blah, blah. The parents pretty much all had it pictured out that Jazz would be the biggest ladies' man of the three of us, me, Jazz, and Ibit. And they had a phrase that I overheard them say at one party, that Jazz bear's watching. And I was like, what the hell is a Jazz bear? Like, what does that mean?
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, what does that mean? I thought they were saying that bear-like creature, or let's say Jazz, like, instead of teddy bear, that Jazz bear is watching. I'm like, what is he watching? What is this? So,
oh God, that's the stupidest shit.
Yeah. So, but then I think they explained, like, no, he bears watching, like, you get him out of your sight, he gon' snatch up a girl or two you know, and do
that
that.
jazz requires to be watched.
Yes. B-A-R-E. Not B-E-A-R.
Like there's some wild bear,
Yeah.
like I'm a bear, or there's like a
Yeah,
bear who's like
jazz bear. He's
inspired by
watching.
me.
What is he watching? Jazz, what are you watching? That jazz bear's watching.
Oh man, that, and I remember like years later when we were older, and then we were like actually at your mom's place one time, me, you, and Ibn, and we were talking about how they used to say that. And then you started saying that, and even your mom was like, "What? No, that jazz bear."
I've been oblivious to a lot of things throughout my life. I will say that.
That might not be as funny to everybody else. That's funny.
I think it's hilarious. Anyway, so no, it's just always been just kind of dictated in stone by the parents that jazz would be the ladies' man of the three of us, and it's kind of true based off of how life has turned out.
I mean, I see what you're getting at.
The three of us.
And we'll, I don't have my sound effects, but FBI open up. Anyway, but no, we won't go down that road. But I mean,
morning. He's on down. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. But Michael Jackson had one of the best songs in that movie of all time. Anyway, no.
Probably the only song I remember from that movie is "He's on Down the Road."
What was it? No. Well, that was "You Can't Win." You can't win, and you can't. You don't know this song. You can't win, child, and you can't break even because you don't remember this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Saw the Wiz when I was a kid.
And never again.
And never really saw it.
And never again.
Which is why all I remember is "He's on Down the Road." Because especially when they advertise it, that's like the main song.
That's the main song. That's the main song.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I know that song.
Who played Dorothy? Did she? Yes, he did.
Like, Diana Ross?
Do you remember this? You remember this?
So I was like, Whoopi Goldberg was in the movie, right?
Whoopi Goldberg? No.
Oh, okay. Because I knew if she was, she shows hell wasn't Dorothy. So I was like, no, it was not.
Whoopi Goldberg was not.
It was not Whoopi at all.
Whoopi Goldberg
and I'm like, no, it had to be someone who could sing. And I don't think it was Aretha Franklin.
No.
Diana Ross. I'm pretty sure it was Diana Ross.
Diana Ross.
Al Jolson, right? Or Al Johnson. Whatever.
Al Jolson? Who's he?
Al Johnson. Is he like a black D-boy singer?
You talking? I forgot the name of the dude. You talking about the dude that played the Tin Man, but it wasn't him though, right?
No.
Shout out to our friend off camera, right? Bob the Tomato off camera. If you all heard that, right? Nipsey Russell. That's right. Right. Because I couldn't think of his name. But see, I knew that.
I know who Nipsey Russell is. I didn't say he was the Tin Man.
Also, so Al Jolson was what, the lion?
I don't know. I know he had a deep voice. Okay? And I might have the wrong person.
I don't think he was in the movie, is what I'm saying. I could be wrong about that.
The person I'm talking about.
One of us looks really stupid right now.
Okay. You know how we talked about the owl that I want to sing about the moon
and the June and the spring?
Okay. Yeah. That owl, that kid's name.
Was voiced by Al Jolson?
No, it was a parody.
Al Jolson.
Yeah, like Al Jolson instead of Al Johnson or something like that.
Mm.
And I was like, maybe, the deep voice actual dude got associated with that. He got associated with something. He was a singer of jazzy type music back in the day. So it may not be him, clearly. And I will be perfectly willing to secede that fact.
It's like somebody being like, hey, you know who else made some music around this time? James Brown. That's nice. Like, while we're throwing out random black singers, like, what the fuck? No, James Brown? How serious is this? You're joking.
No, that's okay. Like, shut up. What's the
Tell me, you remember this song though? Slide some oil to me.
Sure.
Oh my God. That's like if you don't know if you know Ease on Down the Road, the second song you would probably know is Slide Some Oil Through You.
When I was a kid,
Let it trickle down my spine.
Nope.
Slide some oil to me. And let me lubricate my. I'm feeding this to you because it's so obvious. Let me lubricate my. There, okay.
But
I
yes,
fed it to you
but
because it's obvious.
still, no. When I was a kid, I took a lot of things at face value. Didn't pay attention to a lot of the details.
I thought it was really fucked up too.
So if I didn't pay attention to those songs when I was a kid or watch it a lot when I was a kid, it probably didn't stick in the memory. Like I saw The Wiz, like I said, once when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Ease on Down the Road was cool. Couldn't remember the fucking actors in the movie apparently.
You did know Michael Jackson was in it before, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I knew Michael Jackson was in it.
Okay.
I didn't remember his songs. Don't remember any of those songs. I didn't. Now, to be fair, I haven't watched a lot of the fucking The White Wizard of Oz either.
You've at least seen this movie one time.
Yes, I've seen
The original
Wiz
Wizard.
once.
No, the original Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
You've seen it more than once?
All the way through? No.
Really?
No.
I'm not gonna get on you about it. I'm surprised.
I found it boring.
You didn't like the original Wizard of Oz?
I get bored easily.
What? Oh yeah, well this is coming from the dude that. What movie did you say that you thought was boring and I couldn't believe? We talked about it on the earlier episode.
Godfather?
No, I haven't seen
that is a
Godfather.
very blasphemous stance that I have.
I mean, is it more blasphemous that you thought it was boring, or for me to be talking about I love movies and acting and I haven't seen it, which is worse? So
Probably me saying something negative about
probably
it.
saying it's boring, yeah.
Because at least yours is I haven't seen
I
it.
can't make it. I mean, but then again, like I need to see it. I need to see this movie that I'm about to bring up, like now as I'm older. But I made it about halfway through Scarface, and I was just like, no.
Yeah, you and I are not real gangsters. We don't have Scarface in our collection.
We ain't got Scarface on our wall, and first you get the money, then you get the power, and then you turn that shit off. I'm joking. That was fucked up. Oh god.
No, I haven't seen it. The real gangster thing was for kids out there. There was a show called Cribs on MTV a long time ago.
I almost walked away from this fucking. Go ahead.
What is Cribs still a thing?
But it's gangster. Go ahead.
Will you let me continue? Every rapper, damn near, that was a gangster rapper, while they were showing their house, they would stop by their movie collection, grab Scarface, and be like, "This is the one here, Scarface. You ain't a real gangster if you don't have this in your collection."
I feel like you done quoted that on a few episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why we said neither of us would say Scarface. I said we ain't real gangsters, clearly.
That is, I mean, you don't know what I do with my free time.
I know enough.
You remember my friend with 23 years accountant. you would know a good amount.
Like I know enough.
I can't even combat that shit. It's like, no, you would know a good amount of shit. What you do if all of a sudden Superjaz put out an album and it was like From the Streets? Like, what's the name of that shit?
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong.
I mean, I did
just
grow up
you
in
don't,
the hood.
Yeah, I'm about to
That
say.
is true.
Just because you don't act a certain way, don't mean you didn't grow up in a certain
what if it was
place.
a trap album?
Just because you have manners doesn't mean you're any less black than anybody else.
You saying that like I said that to you.
We've been over.
No, we've been over this, but I know it wasn't directed at me.
No, yeah.
But the way you said it was almost like, just because you have manners, Jazz.
You were laughing right at that too, man. And you were laughing at me when I got on you in the previous episode, like you and your brother both.
I remember.
Not let me live that down.
Oh man,
Instead of nah, I'm good. Nah, dude. Nah, man. Get that shit out of my face. Nah, I said no, but some dude offered me weed, and I said no, but thanks for the offer. Because to my understanding, weed is expensive. I am a stranger on the street that you've never met before, and you're offering me some of your expensive substance.
This man took time out of his life
Well, no, he
to
was
see
just
if I
trying to.
wanted to get
He was trying
intoxicated
to
off
have
of
like
it,
an amicable interaction with some other individuals that were all just waiting outside in the colder temperatures of the seasons of the year. So, yeah, so you did that. I'm like, no, but and at first I'm like, no, and they're like, no, wait, no, I should probably at least beg him that he didn't have to offer that. But thanks for the offer, though. Or you must be from North County with that bitch talk.
I didn't hear him say that. I mean, he told me that though.
Bitch talk, sir.
We previously talked about this to y'all. We previously talked about this.
But yeah, that's what I was referencing when I said that. Like, you can have, just because you have manners doesn't mean you're any less black than someone else.
But Pete Omari, he got real like upset on the episode, and then laughed about it afterwards about how mad he got. So look through, and you should be able to find that.
I often laugh at how mad I am.
But it was, we talked about it, but it was just the way, because the dude goes sitting on the car, hey, that was before it was legal. It was like legal in some areas, are starting to be legal, but before it was legal. And the way he said, y'all got y'all good, there's no, but thanks for the offer. it just came out weird.
Y'all want some or something like that. And I'm like, nah, but thanks.
Well, he said to me, he said, you got y'all good. And then did the gesture.
He looked like he was offering.
No, that is an offer. That is a covert way of saying, excuse me, my fair gentlemen, fellows of the evening. Let me stop fucking with you. You look like you want to punch me in the face.
I got you good. That sounds more like, do you have weed on you? Like, y'all got that good stuff.
No, well, yeah, it's like, do y'all have some? Y'all want to get some? That's basically it.
Okay.
Right.
Well, still, no. Thank you for offering.
Let me stop. Because I feel like we're going down a path that you're not finding funny, and you're finding the least funny.
I find it funny enough. It's been years. We've all grown as individuals, myself included. I can laugh.
This sounds like an explanation as to how you mapped out the mind. I know it's not. But it sounds somewhat like, I'm not gonna beat your ass.
No, we're good. It's funny times. Ha ha.
Anyway. So what would you do if Superjazz's next album, right? And you heard my Secret Identity, so you saw how like silly it was, and it was like very much like me. It was very much me.
Yeah.
Right. So what if the next one was like From the Streets, and it was like a trap album, and I was talking about how I had like bitches and hoes. I was like, yeah, I was slanging on the corner. What would you do?
I would listen to the songs, and if you couldn't pull it off, I'd definitely be like, yo, your acting could use some work here or there. I'd laugh my ass off at you trying to be gangster, just like anybody would laugh at me.
But what if it was like good?
If it was good, damn, Jazz, you're a good ass actor. Who would have guessed?
Like, bro, you don't know my life, dog. We just said yes, you do.
I'm pretty sure I just said I know enough.
Like, man, I had holes in the back, twerking while I was slinging that yay. You don't know what's up. Good Lord.
I fucked 3 fucking bitches at the same damn time.
It sounds exhausting. It does.
It does, but I
different time. That's what's up. Same time. I'm one man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it took that. That was a quote from like a Pat McAfee story. Some guy on his like plane back in the day with the Colts. They would like make rookies sing, and one dude literally got on the microphone for the plane during the flight, and he couldn't think of anything. So on the spot, he's just like, I fucked 3 bad bitches at the same damn time, at the same damn time, at the same damn time. I fucked 3 bad bitches. And then all of a sudden the flight attendant comes up and like doesn't get off the microphone, and it was like, oh, that's not good. And someone's like, yeah, the owner's daughter is on the plane.
And she must have been really young. Okay.
And yeah, dude got cut from the team.
He got cut? What?
Well, you probably with someone's daughter, when your owner's daughter is on the plane with you, probably probably shouldn't go over the speakers yelling, "I fucked 3 bad bitches at the same damn
I
time."
mean, okay, well, I don't know the full story because again,
And it was a rookie, so it's not like it cost him a lot.
he didn't have tenure, right?
Yeah, so get him out of here. Like, come on, man. You gotta have some kind of, like y'all doing your pranks with singing, sure, but he's the first guy to go up and they just interrupt the silence with that.
I mean, okay, like I said, casual football fan. I like to watch a good game here and there. I don't follow this stuff, so I won't fully know the story. So people who love sports or whatever probably, about to, ready to jump through the screen and kill my ass, but whatever.
It's
but
an overreaction. Yes.
That's what I was saying. I don't know the man.
But I understand. It's an overreaction, but I also understand it from like the situation. I'm like, do I think he should have been fired? Probably not. Do I completely understand that he did? Oh yeah, because I know how corporate America works. Especially if you're a rookie, so you ain't even proven that you're good enough to keep. Because it's not like it was a famous first round overall pick.
Well, like not football, but like a LeBron James when he came in, and he was like the talk of the fucking town when he came in.
Yeah, it wasn't
like that
like
kind
that.
of shit.
Yeah, the guy wasn't one of those.
Right. So it was one of those where it was like, you ain't been here a while, and you ain't no sensation. Fuck out of here. That's funny.
Yeah.
How old was his daughter? You don't know?
I don't remember.
Pat McAfee is calling wrestling right now. Isn't he?
Does it every week, and he's one of the best commentators WWE has. He makes it interesting to watch. I say this to someone who hasn't watched WWE in a few weeks, and having taken this long a break of not, at the very least, watching Monday Night Raw every fucking Monday as that I could for the past X amount of years, I forgot how somewhat liberating it is to just have 3 hours free on Monday night.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about modern day WWE. Because I know if I get invested in someone and it's not one of the 3 or 4 people Vince likes, they might just get fired overnight for no reason. Or it's like, hey, Big E does so. And apparently, because my roommate looks up or runs through the episode the day after, apparently now they got Bobby Lashley pretty much making Big E look like he's a joke. Like, squashed him instantly. Like, he squashed. Apparently, they were going to have a triple threat match for the championship. Big E Langston's the champion now. Or at least Big E.
I knew that.
They were going to have a triple threat. Bobby Lashley apparently wanted to be in the match. Hit him. And they're like, well, fine. You can be in the match because they had Adam Pearce or whatever, the general manager or official for WWE now. He came out and he's like, look, we can suspend it. You can suspend you guys if you guys even touch Bobby Lashley. I suspended Brock Lesnar, and you guys are no Brock Lesnar. You're nothing compared to Brock Lesnar. One of these people is your champion, and you're just telling everybody he ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know what? If Bobby Lashley beats you guys tonight, he can be in the match too. And MVP is like, oh, you can beat everybody here tonight, and that's all I gotta do. Cool. So they have 3 matches. Kevin Owens gets squashed. Somebody else that's in there gets squashed as well. And then Big E, Spear, 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley now in the Fatal 4-Way. Yeah. And I'm like, so they're back on, the, as Wikipedia once called him, Black Lesnar train.
You keep saying it. I never saw that.
Yeah, they eventually
stopped.
They eventually stopped. That was a
I believe you.
For at least the first decade of the 20s. That was a thing on Wikipedia. You type Black Lesnar into Wikipedia,
and it
would go
Bobby
to Bobby Lashley's page.
It's fucking hilarious. Oh, yeah, and we're getting into wrestling talk again. Sorry, everybody.
You know what we don't do enough of? Old school wrestling talk.
Well, what I was going to honestly say, I was going to try to, segue into something that people who could give a damn about wrestling would probably, care about. But one thing I didn't talk to Ibn about, Ibn being my older brother, like I say all the time, just for those who might be just tuning in. But one thing I say is, do you think that wrestling could get to the heights that it once was at?
No.
Because the Attitude Era, what was it, late 90s to 2001, wrestling was at the peak to the point where people who are now in our age bracket, they say, I don't watch wrestling now, but I used to watch it back in the day. Or does Triple H still wrestle? Does Undertaker? Oh, I remember The Rock back in the day because everybody watched it when we were in elementary and middle.
Yeah, it'll never reach that point.
That's what I'm saying. Will it ever get back to that?
No.
Why not?
Because there's too much shit now.
Too much shit is in.
Too many other sources of entertainment.
That's the same thing Evan says.
That you have to win people from after they left you for those different forms of entertainment.
That's the same thing Evan
So
says.
they already dropped you because they lost interest.
Yeah.
And now you have to regain it over that other stuff when they can literally just click a button on the computer and have access to whatever the fuck else they want to watch.
The thing I say is because I definitely agree with that to a large extent. But the reason why I say that there's like a small possibility of it happening, small possibility, is we never thought that there'd be, they're not on the same level as WWE, but we never thought that there'd be a company that would give WWE even a slight run for its money.
Oh, yeah, no, AEW is great. And you know what I've already said with that, but the thing is not that wrestling will ever be big again. And yes, I think theoretically, because they're still going and things go in waves when it comes to wrestling, somebody will walk through that door. That's the next Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, The Rock, you know. But AEW is trying to make their own stuff ground up, and they're selling out arenas more so than
they really are.
Is right now. But I don't think it'll reach 90s level.
The thing I was gonna say is what helped the 90s get to that level is I say that there was everything around it, but the Attitude Era was the saga of Stone Cold, right? And then The Rock came through subsequently, so it was two of the biggest stars in pop culture, let alone wrestling, right? And that's why I say what we need now to get wrestling to that height is one person to become must-see TV.
That's what I'm saying. Eventually you get your next whatever to walk through the door. That possibility is always there.
Right.
But 90s also had the whole counterculture thing.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing
big
that
in the 90s,
talked about.
And that is what made Stone Cold, like, appealing to everybody.
Right. Because
like, even if you didn't watch wrestling, this guy gets to beat the shit out of his boss every week.
I was about to say, we didn't even understand the concept of that. We just thought, oh, wrestling, this dude is cool. But everybody else was living vicariously through him being like, he gets to whoop his boss's ass. Right.
Yeah, there's a show, or there's a guy on YouTube, I think it's like Super iPad Wolf or something. And he had a video where he has a few videos on wrestling, old and new.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those, he talks about like why there will never be another show like Monday Night Raw. And he goes through like the phases where early on it was your typical wrestler of the week, blah blah blah. This is cool, and then and then you hit the Stone Cold era, and the mentality of people at the time, and they get that release of what, I can watch this or whatever, and Stone Cold blew up to everyone.
Is Stone Cold in 2021 as big as he was in 99-2000?
I feel like people who knew him back then would still lose their shit. But
no, I mean like if he came out fresh now.
He's very entertaining, but I don't know if he turns wrestling inside out.
I don't
know if he takes it to the same extent, because again, to be fair, people hate people in authoritative positions nowadays too. The whole wage gap and shit.
That's never gonna die.
But it's not. Yeah. But it's not the same as like the mentality. I don't know. It's not as weird. There's not so much counterculture now, so much as like, for lack of a term, create a culture, change a culture. I'm trying to come up with a word, but it's simple. They don't like the current culture, but it's not so much fuck the established. Well, it is, but they're going about it different ways.
If you understand
understand what I'm saying.
The
Let's change the way we talk instead of the way we act.
The mid to late '90s was more being rebellious, and like going against the norm in the sake of killing in the name, Rage Against the Machine. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. But nowadays, everybody is more so rebelling, not against because they can, so to speak, but everybody is nowadays so somewhat probably rebelling because of like they see injustices.
Yeah,
so there's like it's like a different like channel.
Yeah, and it's not so much rebellion so much as it is let's
band together.
It's the unity thing. Like let's make this a new way of life,
right?
As opposed to the way of life needs to be destroyed at all costs and riots.
Like degeneration.
There were some riots last year. Don't get me wrong, but it's been a while since that was that. And that wasn't even so much fuck establishment so much as it was fuck the police.
But yeah, like going back to what you're saying though, again, me and Ibn, we've talked about that. We said the '90s, everything was about, like you said, with the counterculture, like everything was like extreme. X Games came out, Eminem got big, South Park came out, wrestling was at its popularity, and they were doing wild stuff like fucking like blood and raw panties matches.
And AEW tries to capture
Jackass.
Jackass, late '90s, early 2000s. Idiots with cameras.
And then Jackass came out, and then people started copying Jackass and sending them videos, being like, "Hey, I want to be a," and they were like, "No, don't do that." They would even put the disclaimer
Jackass in and of itself was a copy, I'm pretty sure, of CKY or whatever.
Well, yeah, but it was the people of CKY with Can't Kill Yourself, but that's honestly what it stood for. Yeah. But no, basically Jackass was just like people from this like magazine and this thing, and then CKY and some other stuff came together and like.
Well, I thought Jackass.
I forget
wanted to steal the idea. Bam Margera's like, "Fuck you, that's my shit." They're like, "Well, fine, let's work together for Jackass. We'll take in the CKY people. Now it's okay, right? Please don't sue."
Maybe you're right, Jim. I could be wrong.
No.
You know the reason why they
No, I'm hearing something weird that's not the case.
Ah, well.
I feel like I was told that in high school, but I could be wrong. We mentioned that earlier today.
You know why they went to movies, though, right? It's like from the TV show.
Why?
You said that like clearly you're setting yourself up. I have no clue.
Now I'm like, do I? No, actually.
They went to movies from being on MTV because it was a hit. Because I would say I'd say Jackass was the precursor to viral video / print videos that we get on YouTube. Honestly, I would say it was a precursor to that. But they went to movies from the TV show, not so much because they were getting like pressure from MTV to like being too extreme or too much or whatever. They went. I saw Jeff Tremaine, the dude who like directed, produced it, whatever. He said they went to movies because too many people were like, I think, getting mad at them that young people were watching it. Too many people were sending in videos, like I was saying, and stuff like that. So he was like, well, if we go to a movie, you have to have, if we give it an R rating, you have to be at least 17 to see it.
Or with parental guidance.
So we have an excuse, so it's not just anybody can watch it.
That and they can do more fucked up shit.
Exactly.
Like, but yeah, people were definitely gonna try to emulate it. Like I'm sure any group of idiots with cameras would try to film themselves doing Jackass stuff.
I remember.
Yeah, that happened in high school.
You're clearly alluding to something.
Yeah, just the fact that it was real popular to do so back then. Are
you going to allude and go down the road, or are we going to pivot off of that?
No.
Oh my God! I'm sliding some oil to you.
You remember all the details, but I can bring it up. Actually, no. So, in high school, I mean, it can be corrected or whatever in time. A couple friends of mine, everything, definitely met at least one of them, if not both. both.
Shout out to the one, who's helping us with this setup.
Both. So yeah, we decided to film our own jackass type things that we called idiots with cameras, hence me using the phrase repeatedly.
That's why you kept saying that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, got idiots with cameras, and we just would do random stunts and stuff like trying to ride a scooter on an ice patch, and so one of us, not sure who, was not really good at riding scooters.
Is that you?
One of us, not sure who, got on the scooter, and tried to make it move, could not figure it out, and then just go.
So it's a motorized scooter.
No.
Oh, what the fuck? What the?
It was not a
Go.
motorized
What
scooter.
the fuck?
He was very upset that it wasn't moving the way he thought it moved. And so he yelled, go at it.
Okay.
There were also things where we rolled down hills. There was like one with glass, not.
You're trying to think of a name for a person.
Really am. And right now, I'm like.
Just say person.
So, alright. There's the obvious one. It was really good at camera work. That, was with us. There was a third individual. He was the Steve-O fall guy of a lot of things who would also be. He was a true idiot that if you pointed a camera at him, he would do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, like he was that archetype of target demographic for Jackass and kids that would try to do that for, I don't know why not. Yeah, he would do that. So he would be taking a lot of the bumps and stuff. I'd be a little bitch about half of the things. I'm gonna be honest. I'd be a little bitch about half of the things and then get talked into doing them anyway.
Peer pressure.
Also, yes, I'll admit it. It was I who didn't know how to ride a scooter.
But no. I didn't see that coming. What a twist.
So, we did like other things, but there was one video where, with the sniffling I'm doing, it's not as bad right now, where I hope someone will tell me. Like, I just had gross ass snot bubble because it was outside and didn't have any paper towels to wipe it away. And I'm like,
you just had a big snot bubble.
Oh yeah, because
one of your memories
outside in the cold
from high school.
Yeah, I didn't say
I
it
was doing dumb
shit.
shit, not a snot bubble.
Well,
this better have been a massive snot bubble because it's just a snot bubble.
Well, that's one of the reasons it never got released. It's too fucking gross.
Just do this.
That point may have been made on numerous occasions.
Just fucking do that.
Then, now, forever. So, yes. However, there were other things where we played nutball, which we totally took from Jackass, where, you sit across.
You sit on opposite ends of the room and throw a beanbag at each other's nuts.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Idiots with cameras.
Yeah.
The name of the show is Idiots with Cameras, okay?
Yeah, but
I'm pretty upfront.
My family jewels are that precious, like that they're jewels. I'm not going to throw no fucking beanbag at that shit.
I was 15.
Okay. Which means you had a lot more life to live to use them.
But I was getting so much use out of them at the time.
You had a lot more life to use them. Yeah.
Clearly.
You still got a lot more life to use them. No matter how much you have or haven't, will or won't, can or can't, may or may not, possibly will, possibly won't.
One of them, I feel like, kind of overacted a couple of the hits that they got in it, but it also could have been just as painful as it looked.
You're throwing a fucking beanbag.
Well, it was a tennis ball, I'm sure.
You're throwing something.
It wasn't a beanbag.
That's someone's balls, bro. Whatever it is.
Yeah. It was something, but it wasn't a beanbag.
whatever it was, you're throwing something at my
We
balls.
threw at bean
Not,
bags.
but not my balls.
We didn't throw bean bags.
Cause I know good well. I probably wouldn't have been a part of it. Then again, I don't know. Maybe I would have if I knew you. If I like with your high school, I knew you in high school. Went to your high school. Ibn would have been like, fuck y'all, this is stupid. You know, Ibn would have been like, this is the dumbest shit ever.
Oh, that reminds me of something else. Yes, when you're young and you just like having fun with your friends, and then you guys watch similar things, and one of the things you watch is Jackass, and one of your friends has a camera, and you're hanging out, you're like, why not do this?
Well, I mean, I can't necessarily condemn you for it to the fullest extent. I wouldn't have done anything that stupid, but I did do for a second. You can look it up and see same difference with me and my original friend in my duo when he was singing and I was rapping, and we had a YouTube channel where we were doing skits and whatnot, and just like variety. And I did a segment on there called "I Want to Do Some Stupid Shit." So, and I'd look at the camera like Jackass and say, "I want to do some stupid shit," and then
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
So
We will get to it later.
right. But anyway, one thing that is not some stupid shit that you can do is, if you want, you can follow us on our socials. So you can go ahead, and if you would want to follow yours truly, please go ahead and find a page on Facebook, look it up, and follow Superjaz, which is spelled Superjaz. Please go ahead and find the page, give it a like, thumbs up, all that goodness. If you would like to follow me on my Twitter, that would be Superjaz2. So that's Superjaz number 2. And you can go ahead, if you like, and follow me on Instagram, which is under Forever Superjaz, the word forever spelled correctly. And of course, as I talked about a few times for a good amount of time in this episode, actually, I do rap, not about slanging yay, but I do rap from time to time. So if you would like to go ahead and get that listen on, you can find on anywhere you stream your music. Go ahead and look up the album My Secret Identity. You may have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, because I'm not that famous yet. Where can they find you?
Well, you know where you can find me. First of all, you can find me here every Wednesday, as I stated before. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube at YouTube/feogrande. That's feogrande. I also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Giotadi. That's Giotadi. I have a Twitter of the same handle. Follow me there as well. I post random stuff, from time to time. I've been streaming every day so far this year, and this is either pretty sure this is going out on the 29th. So
I was gonna say this will either come out right before 21 is done or right after it ended.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's been the thing that's happened. So it's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, you can find me there in the usual places. But yeah, on my YouTube channel, there's other videos with him and I talking about various nerdy shit.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Mainly Dragon Ball related. If you couldn't tell.
Now, you gotta help me with this thing.
Okay.
Because I know that at some point in the future you're gonna wear that fucking shirt again.
Yes.
But I don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about next time. What are we gonna talk about next time?
Yeah. Whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.